This video is intended strictly for educational, scientific, and documentary purposes. The information presented is focused on plant biology, cultivation theory, environmental control, and general horticultural analysis. Nothing in this content should be interpreted as legal, medical, or financial advice, nor as encouragement to violate any local, state, or federal laws. Viewers are solely responsible for understanding and complying with the laws and regulations in their own area. This channel promotes responsible, lawful, and safe educational discussion only. Hey, what's up growers? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing how to increase germination rate. So, you've watched the last video, you've got your top of the line genetics, and you want to make sure your money doesn't go down the drain. Well, today we'll be discussing the best methods on how to increase your germination rate to near perfect. Every grow starts with a single moment, germination. It's that first sign of life when a seed cracks and sends out its taproot. And honestly, it's one of the most exciting parts of growing. But it can also be one of the most frustrating, because if your seeds don't germinate, the grow is over before it even begins. Now the good news is, cannabis seeds want to germinate. They've evolved for it. If you give them the right environment, your germination rate can be near perfect. But if you get sloppy or your setup is unstable, you'll see poor results. Today, I'm breaking down everything you need to know to boost germination, the science of what seeds want, proven methods from budget-friendly to high-tech, and some grower-tested tricks that can save even the most stubborn seeds. Let's start with the basics. A cannabis seed is basically a dormant plant, and inside that shell is everything it needs to get started. It just needs the right signal. That signal is warmth and moisture. The ideal temperature range is between 70 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Below 70, seeds slow down and may rot before sprouting. Above 85, and the embryo can dry out or get damaged. Humidity should be in between the 70 and 90% range. Because seeds don't have roots yet, they rely on a constantly moist environment to activate enzymes that tell the embryo it's time to grow. Another factor people forget: darkness. Seeds germinate best in low light or complete darkness, just like they would naturally under the soil. If you nail these three, temperature, humidity, and darkness, you've recreated what nature intended. Now let's talk about actual methods, beginning with budget-friendly methods. You don't need to spend a lot of money to germinate cannabis successfully. Some of the cheapest techniques are also the most tried and true. The wet paper towel method is legendary for a reason. You put seeds between damp paper towels and seal them in a baggie or even just in between two plates and store them in a warm, dark spot. Within a day or two, you'll usually see the taproot. It's almost foolproof, if you keep it moist, of course. The downside? Transplanting. You have to move that delicate sprout without snapping the root, or you potentially set back your growth months. Next method is direct to soil. Plant your seed straight into the soil, cocoa, or whatever medium you'll be growing in. You don't get to watch it germinate, but you avoid the risk of breaking a root during transplant. It's less work, just a little more suspense. Next is the cup of water pre-soak. Drop your seed in a glass of room temperature water for about 12 to 24 hours before planting. This softens the shell and helps stubborn seeds crack. If it sinks after a few hours, it's usually viable. If it floats for a full day, it might not sprout. I've had seeds sit in a paper towel for days without budging. Gave them a quick soak and boom, that taproot showed within hours. Sometimes the simplest tricks make the biggest difference. Next, we have some reliable mid-tier methods. If you want more consistency without going all out, there are some great in-between options. First are rock wool cubes. They are little fiber cubes used in hydro setups. They hold moisture incredibly well and give the seedling a clean environment. The only catch? Rock wool has a high pH, so make sure you soak it in water that's adjusted to about pH 5.5 before planting. Next, we have starter trays with humidity domes. Combine rock wool with a plastic dome, and you've basically made a mini greenhouse. It locks in humidity, keeps everything warm, and prevents your seeds from drying out. A lot of growers like these because they combine affordability with consistency. I've personally seen much higher survival rates when using rock wool in a dome compared to just paper towels alone. Next, we have our high-tech germination gear. Now, for those who want to dial things in perfectly, there are some higher cost solutions that make germination almost automatic. First, we have seedling heat mats. These sit under your tray and keep the root zone at a steady 75 to 80 degrees. Pair it with a thermostat and a humidity sensor, and you've removed one of the biggest variables. If your room is cold or your environment is cold in general, this tool is worth every penny. Next, we have humidity domes, and they should come with vents. They should come with adjustable vents, so you can trap in about 80 to 90% humidity, but still allow some fresh air exchange. That keeps things moist without mold forming. And the next, we have the all-in-one germination stations. These setups combine a tray, dome, and built-in heat mat. It's a plug-and-play system. Drop in your cubes or pellets and add water. Let the station do the work. Advanced growers running large numbers of seeds often swear by these setups because they don't want to risk uneven germination. But for small hobby growers, it's more of a luxury, but one that gives peace of mind. Now let's talk about some battle-tested tricks from real growers. Don't drown your seeds. The number one mistake beginners make is overwatering. The medium should not be damp. It should never be soaking. Seeds need oxygen as much as they need water. And be gentle with taproots. When you see that first white root come out the seed and it's cracked out, treat it like glass. A snapped taproot can stun or even straight kill your seedling. If you have old seeds, there are some methods. One of them is scuffing. If you're working with a really old seed, lightly scuff the shell with sandpaper or soak them in a mild hydrogen peroxide solution, usually between 1 and 2%. This breaks down the tough shell and boosts germination rates. And please, be patient. Patience really pays off in the germination phase. Not every seed pops in 24 hours. Some take 7 to 10 days, and occasionally even longer. So don't give up too soon. Another real-world example is I once had seeds that I was sure were dead. After a week, I almost tossed them. Day 11, taproot finally popped. If I had quit early, I would have lost a perfectly healthy plant and watched my money go down the drain. So, at the end of the day, increasing germination rate comes down to mimicking nature. But with a grower's precision, seeds need warmth, moisture, and stability. Whether you're using a damp napkin or a Ziploc bag, or a full germination station with heat pads and domes, the principles don't change. If you dial in your setup, you can expect near 100% germination, even with finicky seeds. Start your grow strong, and everything else, your yields, your quality, your satisfaction, builds from there. That wraps up for today, guys. I did want to thank you again for watching today's video. If you liked, please leave a like. It does go a long way. If you like more content like this, don't forget to subscribe. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. Catch you on the next one. Peace.